What's up, everybody? Welcome to Tuck Rule Takes. This is episode 61, the It Doesn't Fucking Matter episode because our team sucks. I am Mike. Big Al is here today. Liam's here as well. Really no way to sugarcoat this one, guys. That fucking sucked. That was horrible.
Yeah, truly
I
heart-wrenching.
Wherever you guys want to start, we're not this is going to be, we'll jump all over the place with the game. We talk about shit, what this means for the season, what we're just gonna, this is going to be a very cathartic kind of experience for all of us right now, and hopefully anybody listening as well. So I don't feel like starting though, because I am trying my best to be positive, but I gave up. So you guys, where do you want to start with this this piece of shit? Liam, you're raising your hand ever so nicely in the front of the class. Liam, where would you like to start?
As the other co-host here, I'm just gonna take the reins on this opening sequence. Normally it's Mike that gives us a ever so peppy and jolly introduction, but I'll take the doom and gloom one on this.
I like it.
I think we can all agree that fucking sucked. This was a truly mind-bendingly painful to watch. I have never been so hopeful and then completely crushed in the span of 13 seconds. I was not used to having emotions like that. And fuck, that was so goddamn depressing. And for that to happen to the New England Patriots, a no-nonsense organization known for not making mistakes. I have played football from the time I was in Pee-wee leagues till I graduated high school, even at my most inept age in football knowledge, football gaming, all the dumbass plays that we ran when I did this in fourth grade. I have never seen so much ineptitude on a football field. I feel like it was the J.R. Smith blunder from the NBA Finals. I feel like it was the Las Vegas betting gods calling in, giving the Raiders that win. I feel like it was the building demolition of our season just completely falling apart. I have never seen a senseless play like this in my life. I can go back and look at other laterals, other forward passes that were supposed to be backwards passes that were supposed to count and didn't and ended the games. I have never seen across the board Ramondre Stevenson potentially forgetting what he was doing, Jacoby Myers doing his best I'm a fucking dickhead impression, and Mac Jones sitting there looking at Chandler Jones about to field this punt as Mac looks at him through a sniper scope and just watches. He's like, he's really coming down with that ball. Good for him. Nice. Oh, he's coming this way. And then he just ate knuckle sandwich, 5-finger salute, dropped Mac 6 feet under, and high stepped his way into the end zone. I'm fucking crushed, and I'm sure you guys feel the same way. That was the most depressing shit I've ever seen in my life.
Al, you take the floor, please. Do you feel any differently?
No, I don't. How much time do I have? Because
right.
There's a lot.
I'm pretty sure I took 3 minutes, so that's your starting point.
Okay, so first things first, I don't care how negative I sound. I don't care about this. Season's over. And the reason I'm saying the season's over is because that's a winnable game that you need to get. You were up 24-17 with 3 minutes left and with the ball. That's number one.
When you say season's over, by the way, because I did want to ask you, because I knew one of us were going to say it. What do you, because I saw a lot of people saying that. What do you mean by that? Do you mean like just, I'm not even going to like tee it up or lay it up for you. Just what do you mean by season is over? Because I see a lot of people saying it, and I thought it at first too, but I kind of retracted my thought a little bit, but not because I'm less pissed and upset about that, but just different way of thinking. You can jump into your other points. So I just want to know, what did you mean by that? By the season's over?
So what I mean by the season's over is their playoff hopes, I think, are done. And the reason I'm saying that is because the Chargers schedule the last 3 weeks of the season are very easy. It's a cakewalk for them. The Chargers have, if I'm not mistaken, I know they play the Rams. I think they play the Bears, and they play another team that's under 500. Right, go ahead.
They play the Colts. Okay. They play the Rams and they play the Broncos.
Okay, Colts, Rams, Broncos, 3 teams that have really underachieved this year and are injury filled. If the Chargers, unless they screw it up, which they very well could, I'm not going to take that away from the Chargers. But guess what? They win all 3 games, they're in, and they're probably going to win all 3 games because they're just that much better than those 3 teams. Okay, so that's my first point. My second point is Jacoby Myers should have never been put in that situation in the first place, because I'm going to go back to my first point for a second. You were up 24-17 with the ball with about 3 minutes left. Ramondre Stevenson runs on first down, gets you a 2nd and 7. And these guys are like hating me right now. Mike's like, why did I invite Al back on the
No,
pod?
I love it because I like mentally blacked out after what it was like a backtracking blacked out for like the last 15-16 minutes of the game after I saw the last play. So please go, because I love reliving this because we need to wallow. We need
the sorrows.
We need this.
No, exactly. But think about this, right? And nobody's talking about this. And this actually could have prevented this. 2nd and 7, you have Connor McDermott committing a false start penalty that brings you 5 yards back. Now it's 2nd and 12 instead of 2nd and 7, where you could have gotten a reasonable gain on the ground, kept the clock moving, and then you got a manageable 3rd down. Instead, you tried a crappy throw, which that was the one time, guys, I'll admit that I was like, call a screen here and see if you can actually like get some yards or whatever. I know. Isn't it fantastic?
Fuck.
And then you run the ball again, which I understand it was the right play call to run the clock off, all that. Okay, fine. You kick it back to the Raiders. Fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, what is this defense that you're calling when the whole second half you got the Raiders to literally average 2 yards per play? And it was pick 6 by Kyle Duggar. Great play by Kyle Duggar, by the way. He's a stud. Punt.
My game breaker.
There you go. Good for you, Liam.
The one good thing.
One good thing. Literally, when he got that pick 6, I was like, I'm a fucking genius.
It was great. Punt, 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 punt. That was the next 5 possessions or so.
What'd you call me?
Until the last drive.
Yep.
But then you play this prevent defense. And Mike, you and I you were mentioning this in the group chat, and I agreed with you on this. Why are you playing this prevent defense, especially when the identity of this Patriots team is their defense? And they played well in the second half and shut out the Raiders in the second half.
They played amazing.
Yes, they did. So why not, right? I understand not wanting to get beat over the top, especially with Devontae Adams. He's one of the best wide receivers, and Hollins was having a good game. I understand that. But why aren't you being as aggressive? And why, when a team has no timeouts, are you giving them the sideline? Why are you giving them that much room? I could have walked to the sideline. I'm the slowest human being you'll ever see on this earth. And I could have gotten out of bounds with the way the Patriots defense was playing. And by the way, the touchdown, the controversial touchdown, which I know we'll talk about, Marcus Jones got beat on that. And he had a great game. I'm not Marcus Jones played really well on Adams. Yep. But on that play, he got beat.
He did.
And that's why that touchdown happened. Now, should it have happened? Maybe or maybe not. But I'm going to say this again. And I wrote about this on Chowder and Champions on Fansided. This game was not on Jacoby Myers. It was on everything else that happened. The prevent defense, the not taking care of the ball when you had the game literally in your hands, and the stupidity of Bill Belichick in the instance where he called the timeout that took away a touchdown in the first half. And then the last thing I'll mention, then I'll end my rant. Sorry, I have to get it all out. Cam Accord on special teams needs to go, because the Patriots since 2019 have had 4 blocked punts when they didn't have one in 5 years before that. Why are you still keeping this guy when the special teams can't do anything? It's absolutely absurd. This team sucks with the way that they do things. That's why they're 7-7. And that's why they're probably not making the playoffs. It's absurd that this team is even in this position, because they screw it up every week.
Well said.
I mean, I don't even know what point to start on. What actually, you know what? We'll start, I think, kind of when the writing should have been on the wall for everything. Because I think there's one very distinct play that turned the entire game around. And like it's not this play like Al, you were bringing up things where, you know, things that people might have missed, like the holding calls, which led to this. I mean, the false start, which led to this, which led to this. The number one play that fucked everything up was that block punt. You punt that away.
Yep.
Odds are your defense plays defense. You go into halftime down what, 13-3? 10-3.
They
Exactly.
probably the Raiders probably knee it and probably take it in
Most
halftime.
likely, what ends up happening? Block the punt. 2 defensive calls. I think it was pass interference, then one was holding or vice versa, whatever it was. But you ended up having 2 calls on defense there, 2 flags, led to a touchdown. I mean that to me, and granted, I don't want to, but give the Patriots props where the defense once again stood on their head in the second half. I mean, granted, was every play shut down, was every drive shut down? No, but they held the team scoreless until the very last drive of the game. But that punt, and I think that punt is kind of a microcosm of the entire fucking season, because it's all communication. You have 2 veteran players who just are not on the same page with the rest of the team. Just like, Al, you talked about the timeout that wiped the touchdown off the board. And we'll talk about those 2 plays too real quick. That timeout that came off there, why I think it probably was Belichick who called it, right? Because there's nobody else on the sideline. So Belichick calls it. Why does Belichick call it? Because he probably doesn't have faith that the fucking play got called in at the right time, because Matt Patricia doesn't know how to do his job. I'm done defending Matt Patricia. I want him gone after the season. I don't care, even if he may end up being good down the line. The team, the communication, it's done. The communication error there leads to Mac Jones getting upset. Oh, Mac Jones just throwing temper tantrums. No, the fuck he's not. He's upset because he knows how to do his job better than his offensive coordinator knows how to do it. So he has to call the timeout there, negates the play, or negates the touchdown. Bullshit. Then you have the one where Jonnu Smith is running up to the line, fucking pointing, not paying attention, looking at what's going on. And sure, Mac Jones, should he have maybe, and this another communication thing, should Mac Jones maybe have waited or looked over to see if Jonnu Smith was set? Maybe. But in his head, he's probably thinking he should be set, because what the fuck are you running up to not even running up to the line for? You're doing the little jog thing that players do, but you're going up to the line, you're looking the other way, you're pointing for no reason, you're pointing to the other receiver, who he was pointing to didn't even move because he didn't have to move. Jonnu Smith turns around. Mac Jones, great play, by the way. Mac Jones doing the jump over the line for the touchdown. That wasn't a touchdown, but it's just, and then I think it was even on that same series of plays too, where Mac Jones misses Jonnu Smith in the end zone because they're just not on the same page. Whether it's, and sure, did Mac maybe sail the throw, or did he think that maybe Jonnu Smith was going to book it to the end? No one knows what it was, but what it comes down to is the communication with this team in every single aspect of their life. Special teams, defense, getting plays in, getting plays told to everybody. How many too many guys in the huddle flags have we seen so far from this team? 2 or 3, maybe. That's 2 or 3 too many. We never see that many. There are so many dumb plays. Connor McDermott, great game all game. What happens? Last drive of one of the last drives of the game, he gets a flag. This team, the mistakes, and I've said this multiple times this season, the mistakes that happens with this team, it's not like other teams or other Patriots teams in the past where mistakes happen. Maybe they got away with it. When mistakes happen, the most catastrophic result happens from that mistake. There are no mistakes that get swept under the rug, or it's like a just miss or something like that. It's this team makes a mistake, the other team capitalizes on it, or the refs or someone capitalizes on it. This team can't, it's like, and it sounds stupid to say, but it's like there's nothing, like the football gods are not letting this happen this year. And it's not an excuse. It's just a fun thing to say, because it does seem like everything is wrong. Like everything from the touchdown that very clearly was not a touchdown. You have people on Twitter exposing themselves, showing pictures, zoomed in pictures. Oh, look, his foot is up. Every single picture I have seen, his toe is on the line. So I don't know what these people are thinking. They think he has like he thinks, or whoever thinks that the Raiders guy has like the ballerina feet where they're like smushed at the end. So all of a sudden his foot just ends like that. It's just everything bad that happens with this team leads to a catastrophic, the worst result possible.
I want you to think about something real quick. I'm going to make this real fast. Let me get it real fast. Okay. Real fast. It'll be quick. With 5 minutes left, Patriots, obviously, first play, Ramondre Stevenson gets 3 yards. Then the pass to Myers, 39 yards. And then the touchdown run by Ramondre again, right?
Loved it.
And then what do you do on defense? 3 and out. And then what happens the next 3 drives? You punt, you give up a touchdown, and then you do that stupid touchdown. It goes to your point, Mike, that in those 5 minutes, you had the highest of high and the lowest of lows. And that's what this season has been. It's been a roller coaster up and down. And right now it's in that downward direction. Sorry, Liam, go ahead.
No, you're good. I mean, the Hunter Henry touchdown against the Vikings, controversial. We all thought it was a touchdown, mostly because we're Patriots fans, but also there's no consistency in the rule. We get this weird, terrible late game call again. I want to just speak on the mistakes that you were talking about, Mike, because the Patriots historically do not commit these mistakes. But there have been plenty of times where the old regime, the Patriots that we knew, loved, supported for 2 decades, the Patriots team that won, would do this. But in the end, they would always come out on top because they would, for all the bad plays they would have, they would make even more key ones or smart ones down the stretch that would seal it. In the Falcons Super Bowl, we were... I think we were down like a touchdown or so. One of the last drives, we give up a swing pass to Devontae Freeman. He takes it like 60 yards. No one was near him. And then
First
they're like, oh my God.
Kickoff.
Yeah. They're like, oh my God, they're in the red zone. Game's over. Comeback's over. And sure enough, we get the Dante Hightower strip sack. The Falcons get it back again, get back in the red zone. We're like, all right, now the comeback's over. This is where it all ends. Falcons are going to kick a field goal, win the game. Falcons get 2 holding calls that pushes them back.
Chris Long, Super Bowl hero for that.
He is.
Yep.
That's terrible. But no, I thought it was Matthews.
No,
Matthews.
It was Chris Long that drew the hold. He drew the hold.
That drew the hold. Yeah. So Matthews held them. But yeah, the Patriots let those guys get into the red zone multiple times and were able to stop them. Huge mistakes where you thought it was all over, but then they capitalized at the end. And we've seen it this year. It's just not the same ship that's floating to shore right now. It's a messier group, and you can blame that on a rebuild and whatnot. I don't like to point blame at Bill Belichick, but he is the guy. If we're going to give him all these praise, I'm going to give him the criticism of these guys should be concerned that they're never going to see their families again after that game. Bill Belichick should be like on murder reserve. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Entourage when Ari Gold walks in with the paintball and lights everyone up in the news. That's what Bill Belichick should be doing. Just going in and lighting your cut, bing, bang, bing, 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 your cut, bing, 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 going up to Jacoby Myers and absolutely emptying the clip, turning this dude, whatever color the paintballs are, paint Jacoby Myers in paintballs. I know you said it wasn't his fault. It's entirely his fault, in my opinion. Yes, the mistakes.
He deserves blame. He deserves blame.
That's
my point. We will let the Falcons get into the red zone twice, and then we will clutch it. If we make all these mistakes to make it a tie game, we still have the chance to go to overtime. And I was about to double bet the Patriots.
I was pumped. I was ready. We were winning.
I was like, yes, if we go to overtime, I firmly believe we win that game. It's all dependent on coin toss, so you never fucking know. But I
don't even think so. Defense shuts them down. We're good.
Exactly. So I'm like, I have full confidence in the world. We're there if you don't do anything stupid. And this is an all-time historic loss. This is like when the Saints had that incredible lateral play in 2006, got the crazy touchdown at the end of the game, and then missed the extra point that would have won the game, and they fucking lose. Or it would have tied it, and then they lost. But it's a historic, unbelievable loss that is going to be replayed for years and years and years. Jacoby Myers had no awareness. I get it. He was trying to throw to Mac. I get it. He did not make the right throw. He did the cardinal sin of throwing it across his body while running, which is even worse of a throw. For somebody who used to be a college quarterback, Jacoby Myers did the stupidest fucking pass you could think of. The cardinal rule of playing quarterbacks, you never throw that goddamn pass. And sure enough, Mac's to blame too for not, making a grandiose attempt of trying to tackle Chandler Jones.
I don't know about that. What is he
going to do on that?
Like
he had all the time in the world. It is Chandler Jones surrounded by no one. And Chandler Jones is watching this pass come to him. It is just floating. It wasn't a bullet. He hung that.
What's Mac going to do? Go try to play corner?
But when he goes up like this, it's a lateral. Deck him. If it's a penalty, I don't care. Do anything. Do anything. Punch Chandler Jones in the dick.
It looks like he tried to grab his ankle. Brian burns his ass.
Honestly, at that point, from the position Mac was where he's laying on his back, you're fucked. there, and
Yeah,
then
I mean, unless
he's
you
got,
can get his toe or some shit,
yeah,
you're done.
and even then, like, you're at an utter disadvantage. All you're seeing is the bottom of his cleats. I'm sure he just didn't want to get stepped on at that point.
Yeah. Get hurt.
He's
God
scre-
forbid he got hurt on that play.
Yeah,
Jesus.
of course, and that would have just been the icing on the cake of the
Mhm.
worst game I've ever watched. But Jesus Christ, do something. He just sat there and got trucked. Like, once Chandler Jones got it, I go, he's going to slip Mac's tackle. Like, instantly. Like, I was
Yeah,
like, Mac
I
has
mean-
no chance. And I get it. Quarterbacks
Yeah.
don't tackle. Tom Brady has some of the worst quarterback
God, he just
tackles
falls.
I've ever seen. Yes,
Yeah.
100%. But he will fall at their feet in hopes to trip them. Mac just ate handfuls of Chandler Jones' shit. My point is, when the ball's in the air, Mac should have made a better attempt to stop the ball from getting to his hand. Or at least the second he catches it, get him a little bit by surprise. He had about 5 yards in between there. If he can't get to Chandler by the time the ball gets there, you're closer and you're more prepared than he is because he's looking at a football. He's not looking at the end zone.
Yes, but if he tries to go for the ball and he
Yeah. No,
misses,
you
and then
don't
Chandler
go for the
Jones-
ball. Absolutely don't go for the ball. That's
Right.
nonsensical. Never go for the ball.
Correct.
Go for the jackass that is fielding a punt, because Chandler
That's what he
Jones
did.
could have read
Yeah.
the entire Harry Potter series before that ball got to him. He hung that shit in the air. But my point is, I will blame Jacoby Myers 100%. And
Why
I'm
was
afraid
he
this
throwing
is
the ball back to Mac Jones? What did
Backwards.
like my thing?
what
What
it's
did
three
he think
three
was
Raiders
going to
in
happen?
front of Mac Jones. Yeah,
Mac Jones was the furthest Patriot back. Did he think
with
that Mac
no one
Jones
near
was
him.
going to somehow? I give him blame
It's
to a
spur of the
point
moment.
because it's like, yeah, so like I get it. Like he deserves, like every
Bang,
him,
bang play.
Stevenson and Mac Jones all deserve blame on this. I think Jacoby might actually, you know what? Honestly, I think Ramondre Stevenson might deserve like
I don't think he deserves much blame at all.
slightly the most of it. The play was, why are you lateraling the ball?
just go down.
Definitely just go down. Definitely just go down.
That's
I
a
get
young
it.
thing. That's a young mistake.
I know, but at the same time, he was able to get those 30 yards. I think the Raiders were expecting him to go down or them to get like a 10-yard run and run the clock out. Raiders were not trying to tackle Ramondre
Do you know
Stevenson
who?
until like
Do you
30
know
yards
who?
downfield.
Do you know whose tackle he broke to even spring that run?
Wasn't it
Chandler
Crosby's?
fucking Jones.
Oh, no.
Chandler fucking
Okay.
Jones. If Chandler Jones just does his job and tackles Ramondre Stevenson, we're not even talking about this.
Definitely.
But no,
a
what does he
million-
do?
A million
He
different
lets him
things.
go and decides to catch a punt and run back for a touchdown. It's just
Well,
everything.
we've seen the lateral. I understand the lateral. Like, hell, go for a crazy win. But you also, we've seen laterals go wrong plenty of times and teams score on stuff like that. But it's never so dumb like this.
No.
Like
Nope.
it's always like some guy's near and he throws it and the guy either muffs the catch or some guy gets tackled while trying to lateral it and the ball's kind of floating around and then it gets picked up. Like stuff like that I can deal with. If that's how the game ends and Jacoby's like just trying to flick it to a guy a couple feet away from him or to throw it to a guy in the midfield, I get it. To throw it all the way back across your body is ludicrous to me. That is a career-ending disaster to me. I truly think like this ruins Jacoby Myers' career.
Oh, I
This
don't
is-
think
God,
so. I
no.
don't think so.
I do.
Yeah,
no,
why?
I do.
Stop
This is
it.
an all-time. No, it's an all-time inept play.
No,
Oh, it
Truly.
is for sure. This is a top in my I just turned 31. So in my like 15 plus years of watching football, this is probably a top 5
Yeah.
bonehead play I've ever seen.
Definitely.
But Jacoby Myers is still also very, very good.
Yeah.
So like
no. He is
I
good.
don't know.
He is good. But we've seen a lot of great players just lose opportunities, lose confidence because of awful games, awful plays,
True.
awful decisions. What did J.R. Smith do after that finals blunder? Nothing. What did Trey Junkin, the long snapper for the Giants, do when he fucked up 3 long snaps and the 49ers were able to come back in the playoffs from down 31 to like 10 or something ridiculous? They cut him and he was on above average long snapper in the
but
league.
that dude
They
came
cut
off
him.
the
He
street.
never
Literally, he came off the street into that game.
Trey Junkin was not off the street. He was one
Yes,
of the
he
better
was.
long
They
snappers
brought
in
him
the league.
in. They brought him
No,
in like
the
at
Giants
the end
guy?
of the season.
No,
Yes.
Trey Junkin was around for a while. My
He was
buddy had
in the
his
league,
jersey.
but he was retired, and they brought him out of retirement.
I'm gonna have to look at that. But
I bet money on that one.
Okay, all right, I'll check it out. Doesn't matter. He was in the league for a while. He played. He was a pro. He was good.
He was.
Mark Sanchez. What did he do after the Buff fumble? Fell apart.
Mm-hmm.
There are all-time historically inept plays. We've seen it even on a broader term. People like Tony Romo, gets in his head that he's throwing late game interceptions. All he does is throw late game interceptions.
Yep.
His career ends early. Jay Cutler, the same thing. Those are a lot of bad plays over a long career, but there are a lot of really bad plays in a career. And this was an all-time horrid play. I'm going to think of Jacoby Myers differently for the rest of his career. A lot of people are. He's going to be the butt of a lot of jokes, a lot of memes, and I don't like this going forward for him. Like, I don't want to be dramatic. I hate to be one of those media guys that's like, oh, his career's fucking over. That was one of the stupidest fucking plays I have ever seen, ever. Arguably the stupidest.
This will be the episode where we all do have crazy media type takes like this, though, because it is very, very emotional. Al, what were you going to say?
Completely disagree with you, Liam, in the sense that this is going like you're going to think differently of Jacoby Myers. I'm not thinking differently of Jacoby Myers. The dude made a mistake. Like, I obviously cost you a game, and I understand that. That's a big mistake to make, but it's not like the other examples you mentioned because those required some physical skill that wasn't there afterwards. This was completely a mental mistake. This wasn't Jacoby Myers like running a route and he ran the wrong route.
Definitely.
And so when it's a mental thing, and especially that's a play that doesn't happen, but it's a play that doesn't happen as often. So that's an easy fix where it's like, okay, next time don't freaking throw the ball.
And he may never be in that situation again.
He probably won't. Now here's the thing here's the thing too. Mike, you mentioned Ramondre Stevenson. I didn't have a problem with Stevenson pitching it back to Myers because Myers was only 2 yards away. Like he literally could have handed it to him if he wanted to. He literally could have put it in his lap.
Right next to the sideline.
Because I'm going to tell you why. Because like you guys said, nobody expected Ramondre Stevenson to break those tackles. And then when Stevenson broke and got to the Raiders 30-yard line, he's thinking to himself, oh, shit, if I can pitch this to Myers and he somehow breaks a couple tackles, we're running this to the end zone and we're winning on the last second as opposed to what he did. Myers, and I watched it carefully, Myers was on, I think, the 40-yard line, and he threw it he was on the Raiders 40 and threw it back to the New England 48. That's about 12 yards. You're literally throwing it 12 yards backwards to a quarterback that we love Mac Jones, but he can't run. He's not a mobile quarterback. And like we've all said, and everyone said, and I agree with everyone, Mac Jones is not running 50 yards to the end zone and beating everyone on defense. It's not happening. So again, you really have to think about what the repercussions are going to be in every situation. And Jacoby Myers, that was a horrible mistake. It shouldn't have happened. So I'll give him a little bit of blame, but he shouldn't be blamed entirely for this loss. Like a lot of people, not us, but like a lot of people are probably doing on social media right now.
Yeah, no, he definitely shouldn't be. And I'll give you pushback on the Stevenson thing because so you said that, he broke a couple tackles, got down to the 30, all of a sudden looks around. He's like, oh shit, I might be able to do this, whatever. Was the play that was called was a draw. There were nobody else on the team other than Stevenson decided to do a ladder. Do you know what that's called? Going into fucking business for yourself. Do you know who used to do that? Jamie Collins. Where did he go? Fucking gone. Anybody who ends up doing that is going. I'm not saying Stevenson's going to be gone, but I am saying that lateral thing. That's like a quarterback. That's like it's not a good play. That's like a quarterback getting the snap and shotgun and then saying, "Oh, I know we're running this, vertical or whatever the route is. I'm just going to take off and run." Not if you're Jalen Mills or Justin Fields, just a regular quarterback. You can't just all of a sudden change the play. This is a little bit worse because you're throwing it, like you said, out like a couple yards behind you to Myers, who's right next to the sideline. And I know that at the time, that's not what he's thinking. He's thinking, like you said, Al, where it's, I'm down here. Holy shit. Let's try to make a play. But that's the stupid mental mistakes that this team makes. Why? What are the fucking odds of you throwing the ball, of dropping the ball?
But he's not thinking Jacoby's going to fucking punt it downfield to Chandler
What's
Jones.
What's he thinking?
Either.
That Myers is going to juke out 10 people and then run the ball? That's dumb.
Think about the other scenarios.
Myers is still an idiot too.
Think about the other scenarios that could happen. Myers gets tackled there and then. We go to overtime. Myers flips it to somebody else. They fumble it, and it gets recovered there. We go to overtime. Myers flips it to somebody else. They get a couple more yards, still get tackled. It goes to overtime. Maybe they make a crazy play happen and get a touchdown.
Just go down.
Maybe they make a crazy play. Maybe you get a touchdown. That is that's the least likely of the sort. But I'm saying let's weigh the options here.
Yeah, exactly. Weigh
Did-
the options. Say
Yes.
there are 10 options that could happen. If
but,
one
okay.
option is that Myers jukes someone, throws it to Henry, Henry throws it to Mac dumps
So
it back to whoever.
there
Every
are
other option is
there are eight
tackle
options,
overtime.
8 options that end in overtime, one that ends the way it did, one that ends in a touchdown, and 8 options that are like, all right, well, we're going to overtime anyway. At least you tried. Like, I understand it. Yes.
No.
Definitely.
Since
it's
when?
not,
That's
it's
not what
the
the
smart
Patriots
move.
have been, though.
I know.
That's the dumb move.
And obviously,
that's
Bill
the move
Belichick
that the
didn't
fucking
tell them to do
Browns
this.
make, that
I
the
get
Texans
it. Yeah,
make.
definitely. And I get it.
We
Bill
are not
Belichick
them.
didn't tell Bill didn't tell them to do this either. But
he probably didn't think he had to.
No, definitely not. The vast majority of options are safe. The vast majority.
You should have played for overtime.
Definitely. I think they were trying to. Jacoby Myers fucked it all up.
Yeah. They were, but again,
I think Ramondre got 10 yards downfield and was like, holy shit, I might be able to hit the end zone because no one was tackling him.
Well, you could see he was kind of like going, and then he was like, holy shit, like, let me take off.
He was at Alvin Kamara speed where he's just kind of jogging and people are falling off of him and some people are standing around.
Am I going to do this?
Yeah, I get it. I get it. And if I was the running back, I'd be like, fuck, I might be able to be a hero here. Let's see how far I can get this. Oh, I'm about to go down. All right, he's right here. He's not going to throw it all the way to Mac Jones. I'd be like, dude.
Why would he do that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that would be the worst play. Yeah, no, I get it.
It's like,
I get it.
I can't imagine he throws this back there. Like, if anything. So the Seahawks played the Saints. I'll let you get in a second now. Marcus Colston. The man, the myth, the legend, the guy who, oh my God, the things I would do for Marcus Colston.
Add that to the list of the man, the myth, the legends that Liam has put on his list.
Oh my God.
Mike, you got to make a list.
Players.
Yes. You need to make a list, Mike, for everyone that he says. Just start writing them down.
Now. I'm starting.
If Marcus list of people. Marcus Colston walks into an airport and yells bomb, I'm yelling it louder next to him.
See, that's where he goes. He said that he said similar things about Michael Vick. He said similar things,
but
about,
it doesn't matter. So Marcus Colston.
I got it going. I got the list going.
Marcus Colston,
I'm typing it right now.
Marcus Colston catches a 10-yard turnaround, and they do the lateral game. They try and figure it out, work around. It ends up back in Marcus Colston's hands, and he throws it clean across the field to a wide open guy, trying to get him some miracle like the Buffalo Bills had in their kickoff. Like, he's trying to get a long lateral across the field to a guy with blockers. It ended up being a forward pass, ended the game, but he skyrocketed this bitch across the field, still got it to a guy. It was a forward pass, penalty, game over, they lose. But that is the thinking there, where it's just like, okay, desperation time, let's make something. That was an educated pass where everything's breaking down. I see a huge crowd of the other team, and then one of my guys is way on the other side, basically alone. And Marcus Colston did a forward pass. Jacoby Myers looked back and went, okay, huge crowd of Raiders. Our quarterback is in front of that huge crowd of Raiders. And once Mac got trucked, there wasn't a Patriot nearby. There wasn't anyone else
in sight.
In fact, Chandler Jones had 4 lead blockers to block air. They were just out for no one. And he's rolling in with a convoy. And Max, sucking wind, eating turf, picking that shit out of his eyes. There was nonsense when it comes to Jacoby Myers. He's completely at fault for me. I think it's a lot of mistakes that led up to it. The touchdown, Ramondre,
of course,
a lot of things. Yes. But in the end, no one thinks Jacoby Myers is going to throw that pass. Except
Jacoby Myers.
Except for Jacoby, who's like,
he got it. He was like, yo, check this shit out.
Yeah, he's like, watch this.
So here, I'll change the subject for a second. I got a question for both you guys.
Please do. I can't we just go round and around on this fucking play.
And this is a future question. I'm not saying like we're going to look completely into like next year and beyond, but I just want to kind of like put it in your guys' brains and kind of get an initial reaction to this. So obviously we've kind of seen what's gone on this year with the offense, kind of with the defense, and just kind of everything, right? Like the defense has been pretty good, but it's had its moments too. So let me ask you guys this. Right now, if you had to guess, so we're saying this on December 19th, 2022, come training camp in 2023, two-parter. Is Matt Patricia still your offensive coordinator? And do you hire either a legit defensive coordinator or a legit special teams coach? So it's a two-parter. So Matt Patricia still OC. get an actual DC and an actually different special teams coach? Because I have my answers for both.
My answer is kind of quick. I think Patricia's gone. Or you know what? I think he's on the staff, but you have an actual offensive coordinator come in. So it's not like you're demoting Patricia because technically he was never named the offensive coordinator. I think that special teams, definitely new special teams coach. Belichick does not fuck around with that. You will get a new special teams coach. And defense, no, I think you keep everything where you are with the defense right now. You can't be giving away all, because like, and Liam and I have said it numerous times this year, where the years of the Legion of Boom or your Steelers defense, Ravens defenses of old, that doesn't exist anymore. You have defenses like even the Bills defense, who are really good. They still get gashed plenty of times. It's just good defenses now are defense. It's kind of an eye test thing. Of course, there's stats, but it's one where you look at, you're like, oh yeah, no, they're good defense, tough to score. I mean, they held last game against the Cardinals scoreless in the second half. This game scoreless in the second half until that touchdown that wasn't a touchdown. Like, there's the defense. I think you keep
great.
where it is. Steve Belichick's doing his thing. Gerard Mayo's over there. They're building something. Keep it in there, same system, same scheme. I think that. But I think Patricia still on the staff, not the OC. I think Cam Acord. Is it Accord or Acord?
Accord. It can be either one.
Yeah, whatever. That fucker is gone.
Okay.
That's
Liam?
my thought.
I think there's a lot of good things about the special teams. I mean, Marcus Jones kick return for a touchdown to win it. That guy, Schooler, he has been one of the biggest bright spots.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He's a baller.
Amazing.
It seems like he makes every tackle on every play. Like, he's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's a lot of good parts about the special teams. Whether that needs a complete overhaul or not, I guess, yeah, for sake of argument, I will say it probably would be better to clean house, but still keep some of the aspects that worked. Like, the special teams has been great for years and years and years. I'm not exactly sure why it's completely, not fallen off, but it's taken a good hit. I don't know. It's a loaded question for me. Matt Patricia, yes, it would be nice to get like a offensive guru in there of sorts, but I still stand by Matt Patricia. I'm like, I don't exactly think like this is his fault either. I think replacing both of them for the sake of getting rid of this bad season,
I get
just to put this behind, but it's not exactly for a fault of like either coach. Like, the special teams has had great moments and bad moments. The offense has had great games and bad games. To play the safe bet, yeah, clear house. But if I was a coach, it'd be a long, hard thing that I have to think about. That's what she said. But like, it's truly, I'd have to sit down and be like, what do I want to do here? Because there are great aspects and there are bad aspects. It's a loaded question for me that I don't exactly have an answer to right now.
Yeah, it is a tough question, because you got to think. So talking specifically Patricia, because I think the other ones will kind of work themselves. I think the defense is going to stay the same. Special teams, I mean,
unless Mayo gets a head coaching job this offseason, then
in case he
might
does
have a conversation.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that well, if that's the case, maybe you just slide Patricia over that. I don't know. Either way, whatever. But with Patricia, though, Liam, you said you don't think that's really his thing. You can even look past, if you want to look past the play calling at this point, like the actual plays that are being called. If you want to look past that,
they're not creative.
Yeah. And like, that's its own thing. But the fact that he's not getting the play, him and Joe Judge, but it's under him because Patricia's the guy who does run the offense. He's not getting the plays in early enough. Why isn't that happening? We are in week fucking 14. How is that still not happening? I understand that this is your first time being an offensive coordinator. You were a fucking defensive coordinator before, though.
Yeah.
You know how to get plays in. I think that's the stuff, because play calling, you can kind of like, there's bumps and bruises, and they're starting to get, like you said, they're getting a little bit better. You are never going to love everything an OC does. I mean, Josh McDaniels got 3rd and 15, draw up the middle. Like, we know what he does. Like, too many trick plays here. We know, like, every single coordinator has their things here and there. And that's why Belichick, that's why he gets paid what he does. That's why he's in his position. He's the one who has to look down at the end of the season, no matter where the Patriots end up, how it goes. He needs to look at it and say, okay, I saw, because he knows better than anybody. He has to be like, I saw improvement, talking strictly Patricia. I saw improvements in this lane, this lane, this lane. kind of a little stagnant here, maybe regress a little bit here. He's the one that needs to essentially gamble, which is what coaching is for the most part.
Yep.
You need to gamble on your decision. Do you keep it in there and trust what you're building? Or do you pull him out and start again with a whole new thing? Which again, the scheme
I don't
might be a
think you
little bit
lose
easier.
Patricia either. You keep him in house, he's just no longer doing offense.
He'll stay. Yeah. He'll stay. And I think Patricia should be good with that because he's not going to be getting demoted technically. Nobody can write that he legitimately got demoted. He just kind of it's a lateral move, they can say. Put him on the defense. Put him over there on defense. Yep. What about how would you guys feel about Joe Judge taking over the offensive coordinator role?
See, I just want creativity. My point is like it's an offense that lacks flair. And like the Patriots offense honestly hasn't had flair in 20 years. Like they would be dynamic because Tom Brady would throw the ball downfield and get big plays, but we would also have games where LeGarrette Blount runs the ball 40 times and we'd have 5 rushing touchdowns and it wouldn't be the most aesthetically pleasing win, but the offense would put up a lot of points because it's just attrition. I want to be an offensive coordinator that uses the skill sets of the guys we have. We could use a lot better offense. We could use a lot better offensive players, but we still have guys that you can work with. We need end arounds and plays that's set a defense on its heels. So then eventually you do a fake handoff up the middle, fake end around, and try and shoot it deep for some crazy play. Like we used to see the occasional crazy plays from the Patriots. I always point to the Tom Brady to Randy Moss, back to Tom Brady downfield, stuff like that, like dynamic where you're like, oh my God, and the defense is obviously shitting themselves. We need stuff like that. Use Devontae Parker deep. You get Thornton deep, work the guys. You can get Bourne over the middle, work the slot, and the normal Patriot stuff that we've been doing. You have 2 tight ends, which I could think of 10 great plays offhand that you could do with tight ends. Put both of them on there. Both of them do crosses. Put Jonnu Smith in the backfield, give them some handoffs. Do what they used to do with Hernandez and Gronk. Run the exact same playbook with Hernandez and Gronk that you do with these guys. It would be less production because Gronk is a top 2 tight end ever, and Hernandez was a killer. But they would be great. The production would be less than them, but it would still be better than every other tight end set in the league. And there's just no creativity. There's no flair. I want somebody who comes in. I always forget his name because it's a weird last name. It starts with a B. The Kansas City Chiefs offensive coordinator.
Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah. Stuff like that. The Kansas City Chiefs offensive playbook is ridiculous. And it's just because it's the stupidest looking plays you've ever seen, but it confuses the defense.
Yeah, they're dumb.
Like, what
they're just
the
like
hell are they doing?
Just run.
All over the place.
It doesn't
They'll
make
go
sense.
out there with 5 receivers.
And they're going. It just seems like this offense, it's not. This offense reminds me of like in Madden when you'd be able to, before the game, you'd be able to pick an offense that you want to use. This offense is not built. It's like it's not taking advantage of anybody's strong suit. It's not taking advantage of what Mac Jones does well. Not taking advantage of your 2 really good tight ends. Not taking advantage of it. And I know I'm not even asking for trick plays or shit like that. I'm just asking for shit that this team does well. You're not running like put Myers in some sort of Edelman type routes. Have Parker kind of, doing double moves to try to get deep. Use the goddamn tight ends. Like it just seems like the offense, it's not being used. It was built for like different players.
It's underwhelming, because we have 2 great running backs, Damian Harris and Ramondre Stevenson. You can fake a handoff to Damian Harris up the middle and then throw a flare route to Stevenson coming out of the backfield. If you line up with those 2 guys in the backfield, the defense goes, oh shit, either one of them can run up the middle, one of them can catch on the outside. Damian Harris could, if you really want to surprise the defense, fake it to Ramondre up the middle, throw it to Damian Harris on the outside. Everyone's going to be like, oh, I thought that would go the other way. But like stuff like that, where you're like, okay, I have no idea who's getting the ball right now. Just looking at this formation, this could be anything.
On paper, this offense should be decent.
Yes,
it
should be good.
Though let's not say it's totally shit. It should be good. It should.
Liam, the Raiders had the worst passing defense in the NFL, and you couldn't take advantage of that.
112 yards.
It's not that we couldn't; it's that we wouldn't.
No, not wouldn't.
I think it might be a mix of both. You couldn't because of all the shit that you've done because you just refuse to take advantage. I don't even know. But exactly 29th ranked, you had 112 yards. Make sense.
If I'm the defensive coordinator playing against the New England Patriots, I keep it simple for my defense. I say, listen, guys, we know that Stevenson's the guy. We know that Damian Harris can kind of, do a little bit here and there. I'm not saying he's not good. I'm just saying this is how they might be thinking.
Yep.
And then Jacoby Myers is the guy that Mac Jones really likes to go to, and sometimes Devontae Parker. Aguilar, we don't need to worry about. Thornton, we don't really need to worry about, yada, yada. So if I'm a defensive coordinator, I'm saying we're going to try to stop the run, and we're going to play man outside because there is nobody that can beat us. That's how I look at it. Because the Patriots, how many times do we see the screens? How many times do we see the bubble screens? How many times do we see the throws behind the line of scrimmage? How many times do we see it? We see it too often for our liking. And that's why next year, your coaching staff should be as follows. And we all know Belichick's going to be probably back next year, so we don't need to say that. But your offensive coordinator should be Bill O'Brien or someone that can actually be an offensive coordinator. Defensive coordinator, you know what? If you put Matt Patricia back there, because I think Gerard Mayo is going to get a head coaching job this offseason for some reason. I don't know why. Put him there.
Too soon for him, I think. But I think he may. I think that might be a little too soon.
But I mean, didn't he get an interview with the Eagles before they hired Sirianni?
So, yeah, I think
so. So he's getting looks, right? Sirianni, sorry, he's getting looks. Okay, so I got you. So if he's getting interviews already, he's probably going to get more interviews this offseason. So if he doesn't get a job, then you keep him on defense and you can have Patricia and Mayo work together. I'm fine with that. And Joe Judge, Mike, you said make him offensive coordinator. No, put him back on special teams, because look at what the Patriots did on special teams when Judge was there, and look at how dominant they were, and look at how really good they were setting up, blocking punts for themselves, and making sure that their punters had enough time to make good punts downfield to change the field possession game.
I do like Joe Judge as a special
I would like
teams
that. I would like that. So put him there.
Keep it in-house, because I'm a big believer of keep it in the Patriot system. Like, don't get rid of Matt Patricia because he's a part of the Patriot system, the Patriot way. I believe in all that shit.
Here's what I think real quick.
No, you're good.
This, for some reason, and I hate that I'm going to say this, I think Matt Patricia is going to be back as OC next year. I don't know why. He shouldn't be.
As long as he broadens the playbook, I don't give a shit. But like you said, if they're going to play man across the board, then do some fucking man beaters. Put people out in trips and have the middle guy running across the middle, the inside guy running outside, the outside guy running inside. If you're playing man on that, somebody's going to bump into somebody. Somebody's going to get open. At some point, like, somebody's going to crisscross. It's simple concepts like that where it's like, I just don't think they're doing it, instead of this is a Matt Patricia problem. No, I don't think so. I just think they're not doing the plays that like should beat them. This is an offensive driven league now, even though defense this season has been better than it has in the last 10. Still, it's an offensive driven league, and you need a playbook that is dynamic.
That's just it. You need, and it's also going to have to do with what they do on offense in the offseason. Like, do they get anybody? Because I mean, I would say probably Aguilar and Bourne are gone.
And like, are you just going to rely on talent though? What are you going to get, a wide receiver that can just get open in man coverage? Yes, that's ideal, but that's like what, the top 10% of wide receivers that can just beat any man coverage.
No, you have to.
That's not realistic either.
Yeah, you need to have the good play. And again, this is why Belichick is at his position and we're not. He's the one that has to look, and I mean, he has to roll the dice and see. I mean, I don't know what you do. I mean, I think and like I said, everything kind of is fluid. It all kind of depends on each other. Like who leaves from the offense, who stays, who leaves from the defense. Like if Gerard Mayo goes, does that mean that Patricia should go to the defense? And then you move, or then you bring up Bill O'Brien, or do you keep Patricia there because you like what he's building? You just don't think he has the people to do it, or like a second year in the system, like what in his offensive system, like what do you do? I don't know, but I mean, if Matt Patricia's back, it's going to be another one of those. I don't like it, but I will wait and see. But I will give like 2 weeks if he is.
Yeah, my judgment will be on reserve until I see it in the first week.
Yeah, it might even be at the end of the preseason. Like if this shit doesn't look good, like that's how small the leash he's going to have on him. I wanted to, unless you guys have something else to talk about, I want to talk about that touchdown that wasn't a touchdown. Nothing too crazy about it, but just that I think we all had the same group consensus here. That was not a touchdown. There is zero camera angle. And there isn't, and you could hear it on the broadcast too. Jonathan Vilma, who sucks, by the way, is sitting there looking at it going, it looks like he's out of bounds, but you can never tell, or he might not be. Like, what do you? Yeah, it looks like he's out of bounds. Normally, a lot of times, the easiest answer is the simplest one is the one that's right in front of your fucking face. Stop making things more difficult than they need to be.
Though.
Of course,
he was drafted by the
former
Jets,
Jet,
and then
former Jet. But because he was the one who's saying the whole time he's obsessed with Mac Jones' mood. He needs him to be more calm, more whatever. Like, shut up. It's just he every single angle they showed of that touchdown, every single angle, you could tell that his foot was on the line. His toe was on the line. And if that play doesn't get, yes, Marcus Jones got beat. He still got there enough to pressure it a little bit, to maybe push him out, whatever. If that play does not get called a touchdown, nothing else happens after it. But again, the Patriots, you can't have mistakes. You can't have anything go against them because the most catastrophic thing happens. That touchdown gets called, and then what happens? Boom, fumble, touchdown, game over. Like, I don't know, but we all agree that that was not a touchdown, correct?
Yeah,
definitely.
Okay. I didn't know, because I saw, like I said, some people on there. Oh, it's too close to call. No, the fuck, it's not. It's really not.
No.
If you have fucking Joe Blow from wherever, Cambridge, on Twitter, that can sit there and zoom in on a picture and see that his toe is very clearly touching the white line, I feel like the refs should be able to see it. And that is the type of shit that makes people say, sometimes it seems like these refs might have a little bit more stake in this game than other people do. And I know, and I'm not the first team the first fan from the first fan base to say that. A lot of teams say that. You can't say it's out of the realm of possibility, because do you remember what happened in the NBA? Do you remember what happened there?
Oh, yeah.
Remember what happened in the NFL when teams were shaving points? Like, that's
actually a good documentary, the Tim Donaghy one on Netflix. You guys
I read his book.
Yep, it's good. Yep. Okay, cool. So we're all in agreement that, it is a good one. I've seen it too.
Okay.
But okay, that's actually something that we all saw. Good. Awesome. But yeah, it was horrible to watch. As they were taking so long, I was like, are they, like, because sometimes they do that because they're trying to like reset the clock, like see when the clock was, when the play was out and all that stuff. I was like, maybe that's what they're doing. That was like, but the way that the way that they're talking about it doesn't seem like it. And I don't know. And it just, I don't know, that was like a kick to the balls, but still, it was only a tie game. All you had to do was not fuck up, was not do the absolute worst thing, and you would have went to overtime. All you had to do was not let the Raiders score because you fucked up. And what did they do? They fucked up. I don't understand. Mac Jones, only 2 passes went over 13 yards. I don't know how and I know some of that is on him, or 2 completions went over 13 yards. I know that some of that is on him. I know that some of that is on the play calling. It's just the offense is broken. The offense is broken. And I think that is the main issue here. Everybody can sit there and talk about coaching and, should, like, all these other things, but it comes down to the offense is broken. Who is running the offense? Matt Patricia. I think that's the line that you can draw. That's very easy. And I think right now, over the last few weeks, it's very easy to draw that line, because more and more times play calls aren't getting in at the right time. It just seems like the plays that are being called are at the wrong time. The plays themselves seem stupid. Like, I'm looking at a bunch of screenshots and stuff of all the different reporters showing plays and everything. And I'm like, it's like, we're back to the shit where Mac does his 3-step drop and no receiver has turned around to look yet.
Yeah.
So like, why are you doing routes? It just doesn't make sense. Then when you have the 5-step drop, you have receivers that are all clustered in one fucking area. So Mac Jones has to script. It's just,
we know Mac
right.
Jones isn't this bad. It's not like, oh my God.
No, he's not, but they're making him look it. Yeah, it's horrible.
I would, honest to God, I would rather Mac Jones call every play at the line of scrimmage and make the audibles as he sees accordingly, as opposed to Matt Patricia putting in the play calls.
At this point, yeah.
Like, I guarantee
what do we have to lose? The season's
nothing.
Fucking over.
I guarantee you Mac Jones can find things in a defense. This is his second year now. He's seen the NFL defenses, et cetera, et cetera. I'll bet you he could call a better game, and I bet you get more production out of the offense. I would almost guarantee it.
Yeah. I mean, I think stuff like this goes both ways because Peyton Manning didn't handle his own audibles until like his third year, but then Patrick Mahomes got full reign of the offense, change any plays you
Mhm.
want in his first year. Granted, he had been there for a year before then, so he had time to study the book. But at the same time, like one of those things, like if I'm a coach, I am probably going to give my quarterback a bigger leash and say, hey, go out there and go nuts. If you're going to be our franchise guy, then you have to be able to make these decisions. Eventually, you're on the Patriots. Our hope is that you're at least close to Tom Brady, and Tom Brady went out there, would change plays and call audibles at the line. It would be a deep road. He'd change it to a screen pass. He had full control of the offense. So I'd be like, hey, at a point right now in the season, the next couple games, I'd be like, dude, go out there, fucking call whatever you want. Halfback pass, fire it up. Flea flicker, let's run 2 in a row.
Where's
Whatever
the
you want.
flea flicker? It's my favorite trick play of all time. What are we
It's a
doing?
great
Or
one.
a fake flea flicker. Like throw
Oh
some
my
craziness
God.
in there.
Some nonsense. I don't know. It's
And
I
that's what drives me crazy. Like the Browns game, though, our playbook looked great for the Browns game. And I don't want to go on like a Bailey
very good.
Zappi tirade because I don't think he's as good of a quarterback as Mac. But if we drew up
No, he's not.
offensive game plan like that, Tyquan Thornton getting an end around touchdown, like
Because they didn't overthink it. They
Yep,
didn't
definitely,
overthink it that
definitely.
game.
But the Browns secondary is just as shitty as the Raiders, and we did nothing. So it's so crazy to me where it's like, okay, there was no pressure because you're playing the goddamn Browns and you have a backup quarterback. No one's expecting you to win the game because at that point, I think the Browns were like 3-1 or something stupid like that. They started 2-0 anyway.
They were
But
good.
yeah, stuff like that. They're clearly shooting themselves in the foot and limiting themselves.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it comes down to. They're the ones who are beating themselves every week, it seems like. Almost every single week they're beating themselves. So you guys both have basically said the season is over. I tell you guys, I don't think the season is over yet. When I say that, no, listen to what I said. The
Okay.
Patriots are not making as much noise as I thought they would at the beginning of the year. God
Obviously,
forbid.
you had them
Obviously,
going
they're
like
not.
13
But
and 4.
when in Al, this is why I asked you to clarify when you said the season's over, because you said that you think that you think that they are not making the playoffs, right? You're just going to
Correct.
watch the rest of the season. It's going to be fun. Just kind of, it's still going to be good because you're a Patriots fan. You're going to watch them, all that.
Yep.
There is still very, very sliver, small little chance that they can still make the playoffs. And I will tell you, if they lose to the Bengals, that is still not the end of the season, depending on what happens with the Dolphins and the Jets. Because really the two most important games are the two divisional games, are the ones against the Dolphins and the Bills.
Yeah, I guess.
If the Patriots do win out, they will make the playoffs no matter what. Does not matter what any team does, they'll do it. So it's going to, like right now, like for me, I said that if they lose here, the panic button is I've hit the panic button like 1,000 times. This is DEFCON. What did Kanye say? DEFCON 12 or whatever the fuck he said.
Yeah, some stupid shit.
That's what's going on with the Patriots right now. If they beat the Bengals, I'm still going to have a little bit of hope for the playoffs. But if they lose to the Bengals, I will come on here and obviously officially say the season's over, because at that point, it is just in my nature. I am too optimistic to sit there, which is weird because in almost every other aspect, I'm the most like not actually, no, that's a lie. But and the reason I think that's because we've all seen this team put together a good performance. When they lose, it's these catastrophic, dumb fucking things. It's like, I need to see it again. I need to see it again. So you're playing the Bengals. It's a short week, like by a day, but still a short week. If they lose to the Bengals, obviously season's over. There's no chance at that point. Because then at that point, even if you win the other two games, you need a bunch of other things to happen.
Yeah.
But
then it's out external forces.
The way I see it, and let me explain it to you because it's so you can see that it's not just me sitting there blindly looking at this. If you beat the Bengals, and I'm not saying you are, the reason I'm saying the season isn't over because there is still logistically a chance that they can beat the Bengals. If they beat the Bengals, you have the Dolphins. Dolphins are not a good football team at the moment. They're really not. They are in disarray. Tua seems to be getting hurt every single day, every day.
Good.
Even on his off day, he's getting hurt. So you can beat if you the Dolphins are there to be had. And then at the end, you have the Bills. How many starters are the Bills going to be playing? Are they going to want Stephon Diggs to play the whole game? Are they going to want Dawson Knox to play the whole game? He's been injured a little bit. Are they going to want Josh Allen to play a whole game, getting licked and getting hit and everything like that? I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm just saying when people say the season is over, if that is what you're talking about, they are definitely not making the playoffs, or that you think that's not making the playoffs. I understand why you think that. You should think that. But I just think that there is still a chance that they can beat the Bengals. That's all I'm saying, because Devontae Adams did not have a good game yesterday. So everybody's saying that Devontae Adams and Jamar Chase, they were all going to torch the Patriots defense. Hold on. I know that Devontae Adams, Jamar Chase, a little bit different, but they're both very good receivers. So you can still, and the Bengals still don't have a great offensive line. So sure, is it me looking at the cup, glass half full or whatever? Yeah. But because I think looking at it the other way, the fuck is the fun in that? To be a fan is to sit there and look at it and say, this shit, everything sucks, but you're saying there's a chance. I think there's a chance. Is it a big chance? No. It is a very small chance, but you have to beat the Bengals. It's small. It's almost there. You gotta really squint to look at it. You might even need glasses to look at it. But
your unbridled optimism is truly admiring.
Well, let me fucking tell you guys, because the Dolphins.
I get it. The Dolphins suck.
Because
I don't think the Dolphins are going to do shit.
I also need to state this, because for some reason, when Patriots fans are optimistic, all of a sudden it has turned into this year. And I'm not saying you guys are saying this, but it's turned into, if you're an optimistic Patriots fan, you're just a blind follower, a Belichick sucker, all this stuff. No, you fucking idiot. I just like to watch my team. I like to root for my team. I don't look at things as doom and gloom as everybody else does, because ever since Brady left, half the fans have turned on this team because they're not Patriots fans. They were Brady fans. They don't like Belichick because Belichick isn't a nice guy. Fuck you. Go cheer for someone else. I hate these fans that think like this, because that's the thing. You are incapable of being optimistic because rooting for a team that isn't a shoe-in for the AFC Championship game every year, it's a little bit too tough for you. So go suck off the Bucs. The Bucs. But
also,
are bad.
I was optimistic up until 2 weeks ago. So there's got to be something said for the fans that are like, oh well, after the
I get it.
After the Bills game, I was like, yeah, this is kind of fucking over.
I get it. I 100% get it. But it's like, you also got to think, I am just you 2 weeks prior to right now. Definitely. So, and I'm not even saying that to you or like to Al.
No,
but it's
I
like
understand.
The people who it's like, just
Al's a fair weather fan. Al's a huge Bills fan now.
What are you talking about?
Al hates Mac Jones, so.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing things out there.
Now you guys are
Al's a Bailey Zappi guy. Yeah.
I'm just throwing. I will say that I know Al is not. I will not put that evil on him. I know that he is not that. But that's my thing, guys. It's just it. I mean, the Dolphins don't have an easy schedule. They play the Packers. Packers can still win. They still have Aaron Rodgers.
They can
play the Packers. They play us, and then they play the Dolphins. The Dolphins play the Jaguars, the Seahawks, and the Jets. I could see both of those teams losing 2 games. That's Liam, all I'm saying.
Real quick, Liam, by the way, you said it must suck to be a Bills fan. Yeah, it must really suck to be a fan of the team that right now is a favorite to go to the Super Bowl out of the AFC. That must really suck.
They won't.
I'm not saying they will, but they're a favorite. Like, as long as they get by the Bengals, they've proven they can beat the goddamn Chiefs. They beat the Chiefs earlier in the year.
If the world ran by favorites, it would be the most boring world in the world. In the universe. The favorites don't mean shit.
Well, put it this way, I would rather be in the Bills position right now than the Patriots position.
Oh, of course.
I wouldn't.
Then you just have a
stubbornness
about you that you just don't want to get past.
Because I just endured 20 years of success and winning, and the Bills have endured 20 years of bullshit, and then a decade before then when they were almost good, but not good enough, especially for 4 straight years. So even if the Patriots went 1-16 this year, fuck the Bills, I would still rather be a Patriots fan.
It's always fuck the Bills.
Yeah, because that franchise is a dumpster fire. They're cursed, and eventually it's going to relocate to a city that actually fucking matters.
Unless they win a Super Bowl, which they could do
No,
this
they
year.
won't. But they won't win a Super Bowl, Al. That's the thing. They won't
could.
win a Super Bowl. No,
I
they
will.
couldn't.
I'll say
It is
this.
physically impossible.
I will say this. The one team that I think, I know we're getting off topic a little bit with just general NFL talk, but the one team that I could see giving the Bills a little bit of a run for their money is the Bengals. No, is the Bengals. The Chiefs, the Bills have proven they can beat the Chiefs. The Bengals are the hottest team in the NFL.
Bills
right
have proven
now.
they can beat the Chiefs. Oh, my homeboy is the Bills killer. You would think he was a Indian.
They literally beat them in Kansas City this year,
bud. You would think he was an. Who gives a shit?
Patrick Mahomes, that's gonna be the difference for the Bills and getting the 1 seed and the 2 seed.
I'm pretty sure. The Bills beat the Chiefs last year in the regular season, and then my homeboy went in there like a Native American in the early 1800s.
Did they actually play in the regular season last year?
Damn right they did, and they fucking won. And then in the postseason, when it mattered, my homeboy dragged his 18-inch cock in there and ripped that shit up and down through the Bills' defense like a hot knife through butter.
But Josh Allen also did that to the Chiefs Buffalo defense, though. So what do you mean?
I'm sorry. They left too much time on the clock. Ooh, yeah, 13 seconds.
That was 13 seconds. That was bad.
Who'd have thought?
That was bad.
But like the Bills, if they were to win the Super Bowl, the fabric of the universe would fall apart. The volcano in Yellowstone would erupt. Nuclear war would break out, and the Earth would implode from the inside. It is physically impossible for the Buffalo Bills to win a Super Bowl.
Would you wear a Josh Allen jersey if they won the Super Bowl on your next podcast episode after the Super Bowl?
If they win the Super Bowl, I will paint my entire body like a Buffalo Bill, wear a jersey, and run around town with shit in my hair.
Maybe not that last part, but everything else sounds good.
What around town with shit in your hair? Okay. God. All right. Yeah, no, the Bills aren't going to win. I think that I'm not even going to talk about this because you still got 3 more weeks of football left, which is going to be excruciatingly stressful and painful and probably sad. The Patriots are going to ruin the holidays for a lot of people, but like I said,
they're so lucky I don't have kids right now. I'd be starving them over this fiasco.
I just can't say that the door is completely shut because they could beat the Bengals. This is we've seen it more this year than any season. This is any given Sunday. Any team can beat any team at any point. So I don't know. Yeah. And I think the Patriots are good enough to beat the Bengals. They are also bad enough to get demolished by the Bengals.
Totally.
So, I don't know. So I get that's my pick is that the Patriots are going to win. I'm going to officially stamp it. I do not have a game breaker because I don't think that anybody deserves one on the team. I think, you know what, the game breaker is going to be the Patriots themselves. I think the Patriots are going to have to not,
I agree with you there,
shove their head in their ass. I take it though, that you both think that the Patriots are going to lose this Saturday, Christmas Eve.
I honestly don't give a fuck. The fucking season's over. Like I have no pick.
Listen,
do you want to hear my score prediction?
Of course. Yeah, of course. It's not going to be good, but I know.
Prediction, that's how much you care?
Yes, I do a score prediction every week. I've told you this.
Yeah, I guess.
What is it?
Every Patriots game. Bengals 31, Patriots 13.
I don't think the Bengals get to. I don't think the Bengals get to 31. That is disrespectful as fuck to the Patriots defense.
Hey, Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon, Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, Taja. Is it Taj?
I don't give a shit.
I always
Samaje P. Ryan.
No, he's good too. Who's the other receiver?
Taj Boyd.
Taj Boyd and who's the
Higgins.
Taj Boyd?
No, not Taj
Higgins.
Boyd.
Sorry, T. Higgins.
Tyler Boyd.
Yeah, Taj Boyd. Oh yeah, he's so good. You guys don't even know his goddamn name.
No,
they're still good. Relax.
I was just thinking about the best quarterback that ever went to Clemson, not named Deshaun Watson.
Who?
Taj Boyd.
Okay, cool. Got to put him on the list.
Taj Boyd. I honestly thought he was going to be so sick, and then he went to the Jets.
Mike, what's the list at? That's how you should end every episode. Just update the list of how many people Liam has.
Okay, so right now I haven't completely finished it yet, but just who I have right now, and then I'll leave it here. Then as we go, I'll add them. We got Cam Newton, Mike Vick, Marcus Colston, Deshaun Jackson, Deshaun Watson, and Braxton Berrios, which to me is that's a gimme. One.
That's a layup.
I don't even. I'll never understand that. But I'm sure I'll think of some just in Liam's and I's conversations.
Patriot, you guys are gonna hate on Braxton Berrios.
I don't like him.
He did nothing.
He did everything.
He did nothing. That's why they got rid of him.
He was the foundation of this team. They got rid of Tom Brady. How'd that go?
He left. They actually got rid of Braxton Berrios. They said, "See ya."
They did not willingly get rid of
one word
Braxton
answer,
Berrios.
or actually one sentence answer to this question. It's a two-parter, but you can answer it very quickly. Do you think Tom Brady comes back to New England next year? Do you want him to come back to New England next year?
No and no.
Thank God.
Yes and no, because
You want him to come back? Oh, no. You think he will come back? Okay,
yes and no.
I fucked up my own question.
I only say yes because I think the world is conspiring to make me and Patriots fans miserable.
I get it.
And the ultimate cock slap to all Patriots fans would be Tom Brady coming back here and then sucking wind for another 2 seasons until a strong
what
gust
would
of
happen?
wind turns him to dust.
He comes back and Belichick sabotages him. And then
That
he's
would
like,
be
look what
awesome.
happened. I was doing well with Mac Jones. And then Tom Brady comes back. We
And
went
this
2-15.
idiot comes back here. Yeah.
This old alien looking motherfucker.
I'll tell you what, bring Tom Brady back, bring him back as a QB coach. That's
Honestly,
what you should do.
Yeah. No, I would like to see Tom Brady in the circumstances that Mac has been put in this season because, 13 yards past the line of scrimmage or bullshit like that. I would love to see what Tom Brady could do with a team like that.
Tom Brady can't even succeed with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. Get out of here. No. But okay, I think that's pretty much it. Do you guys have any final words for the Patriots? For the Patriots, kind of after the game, the season moving forward, kind of your last thoughts before we go. You pessimistic motherfuckers.
Figure it out and get an actual OC for next year. Thank you.
There we go. Love it. Liam, what do you got?
Just give me good football because if these last 3 weeks are excruciating, I am going to put myself in cement shoes and drop myself into the deepest part of Hingham Harbor.
You guys said it all. Go Pats, Bengals next week.
Go Pats.
This is the, I get it. It's like
Patriots.
the most half-heartedly go Pats ever. I'll say I'll go out on a limb. I think this is a must-win, guys. So I think the Patriots have to win this.
That's bold, Mike. That's real bold there, bud.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, this wasn't fun. I don't feel any better. No sports talk for me this week. I will see everybody Saturday. And yeah, that's it. Patriots aren't getting a sweet feet either, by the way, guys. So
no, fuck no.
That's it.